Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the
Global
Global
Digital
Digital Success
Success Talk.
Talk.
Welcome.
Welcome. Happy Monday to everyone. I hope everybody's having an amazing beginning of the week. We are back with Global Digital Success Talks today, and today's topic is.
So we will be digging in, and welcome to our Global Digital Success Talk about faith over fear, trusting the journey even without guarantees.
Thank you, Yessie. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. But before we start doing that, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico, now residing in North Carolina with my family. I am a digital business owner and a mentor.
Hello, hola mi gente. Hi everyone. My name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by profession and I live here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm original from Cuba. I have my business online and I'm a mentor at the same time.
Thank you, Yessie. Yes, so as you guys know, every Tuesday and Thursday we have live webinars where we have people from our community to come and share their journey and talk about our business plans so that you can learn more and see if this opportunity too is something that you would like to do. So our live webinars are every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you register, you're gonna get an email with two links. One is to register to watch the link on Tuesdays, or to register to watch the webinar on Thursdays. Okay. If you register on a day that is not either a Tuesday or a Thursday, you will get the replay, and you can watch it at your own time and see if this is something that you would like to do. But last Thursday we had our live webinar, and here is the host and the panelists that were there last Thursday. Okay.
All right, so last Thursday on live webinar, remember last Thursday was February 5th. We have live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursday, always at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And our host last Thursday was Nin. She's an engineer. She's from Australia. We have Gujani. She's a teacher aide from Australia as well. And then we have Aisha. She's a compliance manager. She's from Australia. And then we have Jen. He's an electrical engineer from Australia.
Okay, so we also had Maria, who is a business owner from Canada. We had Amanda, who is an administrator from New Zealand. And we had Roshi, who is an IT professional from Australia. So don't forget, if you want to learn more about this business, you can either, register on the website you see on the screen, send us a direct message, or comment info, and we'll be happy to share the details with you. Okay.
And remember, to register, the only thing you have to do is register with your name and email to any of our websites, and then we contact you, okay?
Okay. And so here's a topic that we'll be talking about today.
Our topic for today is faith over fear, trusting the journey even without guarantees.
So that's what we're going to be talking today. So what if progress didn't require guarantees, only faith? Today, we're talking about how choosing faith over fear changes the way we grow, decide, and move forward. So, in business, growth, and life, one of the hardest things is moving forward when we don't have certainty. Many people wait for guarantees before taking action, but entrepreneurship often asks us to step forward before we see the full path. Studies in behavioral psychology show that fear of uncertainty is one of the biggest reasons people delay opportunities, even when they are capable of success. So, today we're going to be talking about how faith helps us move forward when fear tries to hold us back. So, we're going to be talking about the following points.
And our points are: point number one, fear, focus on what could go wrong. Faith, focus on what is possible. That's the difference right there. Number two, trust is built through action, not certainly. And number three is faith sustain you when motivation fades.
That's right. So, let's go ahead and move on to point number one.
All right, so point number one, this is really important. We have to know this. And fear, focus on what will go wrong. Faith, focus on what is possible. So we have to start changing our fears for faith. Okay, fear is natural. It's a design, to protect us. But it can also keep us stuck. So we have to determine, we have to know what's the difference and when to stop and when keep going. Fear highlight risk, fear manifests doubts. The fear keep us family patterns, but faith in the other hand expand possibility. How? Because faith allowed the grow. Faith open new opportunities, and faith help us to take the first step even when the outcome isn't something that you are for sure that something will happen. Research show that people who adopt a possibility focused mindset are significantly more likely to take action and persist through challenge. Faith doesn't remove fear, and it gives us the courage to move anyways. So if you are reading our slide here, but we say, but Jesse, how do I know, like, how is possible to move on, because I'm always fearful. Let's be real, fear is loud. Sometimes it's really hard to I say, okay, don't tell me anymore. Fear is loud. We always constantly will ask you, what if fail, what if it's not enough, or what about if we don't make it. But when we acknowledge this fear, we have then start to put in some faith on it. Then you're going to ask yourself, okay, maybe what about if it don't work, but what about what will I learn from this experience? What if it work? And let's start choosing faith, even if we know that we have guarantees. A lot of people fear, sometimes it's not based on facts. We fear about something because we don't know. We don't even know the whole information. We don't know the whole system, or what it's all about. And maybe that's what we're fearful. But maybe if we put a little bit of faith, okay, I'm fearful of this, but let me learn what it's all about. It. Oh, I don't like it. That's okay. You can keep away, but at least that fear didn't stop you to learning about something. Remember, fear is, so most of the time is based about assumptions. Maybe about past disappointments, or stories that someone tell us, or even stories that we tell ourselves. So when you feel that way, you start your fear magnify. Yeah, that's the word. Our fear but magnifies, and then we start seeing problem after problems, and we don't see the end. So when we acknowledge the fear, but then we focus on the faith, maybe we start being a little bit reckless. Maybe we don't believe completely, but we start learning about it. Maybe we start planning about it. Maybe we grow, maybe we learn, and even we can adapt about what we're fearful of, or we can adapt about what's going on. We were all fearful about COVID on 2020, but we adapt. We put some faith out there and we say we have to adapt about this new situation. And we did. Same thing happened with everything around us. So start shifting your fear toward having a little bit more of faith. You don't need to be certain about how to take the first step. You just need to have that courage, and choosing a little bit of the uncertainty. Maybe I don't know about it, but let me learn. I'm not saying that we like it, but I can try. Sometimes we say, oh, I don't. Sometimes we're fearful about someone else cooking or someone else culture. But maybe if we would just listen, maybe one music, or maybe if we just try one spoon, maybe that fearful will go away. Maybe you don't like it, but you're not fearful anymore. So start asking yourself instead of what if it fail, or what if um it doesn't work for you. Start thinking and start changing your mindset and start putting that faith on your questions and your answers. What if I raise? What if I grow? What if I learn? So starting choosing between those two is what makes the difference. So you don't need to have guarantee of the results. You just need to have a direction. And I think that's what I want to say about this topic.
Thank you, Jessie. And yes, so Jessie was talking about fear focuses on what could go wrong. Faith focuses on what's possible, and of course, we want to focus on what's possible, on our opportunities to grow, to be something else, be better. And something very powerful that happened last night on the halftime show. We have to believe in ourselves. Believe in yourself, guys. That's the most important thing. And we have a comment from Pat kidding me. He sent us some flowers. Thank you, Pat.
Thank
How
you,
kind.
Pat.
Thank you. Thank you. And we also have one from Eileen Takata watching Ladies Live. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Eileen.
watching.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much
your
for the
support.
support.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to point number 2. And point number 2 is trust is built through action, not certainty. So for a long time, I believe I needed certainty before I could begin. A clear plan, proof it could work, and reassurance I wouldn't fail. And I think that's what we all want, We want proof, we want guarantee, we want, somebody to say, okay, here is my signature. I'm reassuring you, you're gonna do great, you're gonna be successful, and everything you want is gonna, become true. But honestly, that's not how things work, guys. You know, certainty never comes uh first. What I what I did come from a realization waiting for certainty was costing me more than taking a risk I ever could. So a lot of times we stay in the same place, we keep doing the same thing, we keep playing it safe because we're so afraid that things are not going to work out, that we're not going to be good, that we're not going to have the results that we want. And we stay right there in that little spot. We don't move out. We stay in that comfort zone just because we are so afraid of change and because we want certainty. We want to be sure that what we're going to do is going to work for us. Trust didn't grow because I had all the answers. It grew the moment I moved. Imperfect, you know, um, careful, but forward. I remember when I decided to start my business, after working over 20 years in corporate. I work over 20 years, guys, in the same place. I kept playing it safe. I kept doing what I had to do. Of course, I had to always be out there, improve and do things and challenge myself so that I could get, a better position, to get a better pay, whatever. And I was doing this. And a lot of times I was working a lot and I was taking a lot of stress because I wanted to improve. But I got to a point where there wasn't more room for improvement. And my job was stressful. I had a lot on my shoulders And like I said, I had to be there from a certain time to a certain time. There was times I had to work on the weekends, and I had to like really push myself to show that I was worth of having a better raise, to get my bonuses, to do this and to do that. So you're already doing all this work. You're already proving yourself to get recognition, to get better pay. So, why not really push yourself and start doing something of your own, because you're already doing it for somebody else. What I found was each time I tried, I trusted myself a little more. Each experience made me more resilient, and each step gave me clarity I couldn't have, I didn't have to begin with. When I started this business, I started nervous, with doubts, imperfect. I started doing this with no idea how to do it. I didn't know how to run it. I didn't know what to expect of it because I had never done it. But I had a clear why. I had a clear, what do you call it, picture in my head that if I didn't change what I was doing, I was going to keep doing what I was doing at the time. So we have a choice to make, and we have to really think about, okay, yes, this is something completely unknown to me, but is it going to give me the time freedom? Is it going to give me quality time with my family? Is it going to give me the presence with my family? And those are the questions that you have to ask. According to neuroscience, shows that the brain reduces anxiety and builds confidence when we take small, consistent steps into uncertainty. In other words, action calms the mind. Overthinking keeps it stuck. And that's what we tend to do a lot. We overthink things like, I really want to do this, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. I really want to do this, but I'm not sure. I don't know how it really works. Well, let me tell you that we don't get the answers before we start walking the path. We don't get the answers before we take action. You it's like when you're going hiking, for the first time. You don't know the trail till you start walking it, and then you start discovering, oh wow, there's a wonderful waterfall on this side, and look at these trees. You have to really walk to see. You can't just see before you start taking action. So faith for me stopped being about knowing every detail. It became about believing that I could learn, that I could adapt and figure things out as I went. And that belief changed everything. You don't need to feel certain to start. You need to be willing to take the next step and let trust meet you there. Okay? So trust isn't found in certainty, it's built through action. Okay? So we're going to move on to point number 3.
Oh, Isa, I think we have a comment from Eileen Takara about that topic you were talking about.
Okay. Well, let me see. She said, watching from Edmonton, Canada, and then she said, certainty is a plausible, consistency is so much more reliable. So
Yeah, well said.
thank you,
Thank
Eileen.
you for let us know your output about this topic. Okay, so let's go to point number 3. Last point of the day that we're going to be talking is about faith sustain you when motivation fades. What are we saying that? Motivation comes and go, but faith stayed. Rooted in your purpose. When you have faith reminds us why we started. Faith help us to stay grounded during the slow seasons. Faith keep us aligned when results are taking their time. When faith lead consistency become easier and long-term success become possible. And how do you see it? In other words, guys, motivation is emotional, as I say here, it comes and go. But faith is stay deeper. When you have faith, it what keep you moving when all that excitement or all that commotion fades, and you start not seeing those results immediately. Then you start showing up your faith. You start seeing that faith. Why are we saying motivation is temporary? Why you saying that in your business, Jesse? Why you saying that it's temporary? No, 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 guys. Let's be real. Sometimes we feel inspired. When we start something at the beginning, where we just want to get everything done and we just want to keep going and maybe start seeing that money. But sometimes it takes us time to start getting there. Why it take us time? Maybe because we are not expert, and that's okay. Maybe because we're a little bit ashamed of what are we doing, or even maybe you're not too knowledgeable in computers and technology part, and that's okay. You will take time to learn in these things, but that doesn't mean that when you get it, your motivation, it will like completely be gone. It will deplete. But what keep you going? Like you say, I learned about posting today, or I learned about marketing, or Facebook, Instagram, about this, about that tomorrow. Then okay, I will keep on because I know why I started this business. My that's when my face starts showing up. I know my reason why I started this. Did that make sense? But okay, so there will be moments that you don't feel inspired as well. There'll be moments that you don't feel confidence, and those moments can be hard for anyone, and more for something new, or more for something that you were faithful for before. We're saying that sometimes we don't move because we have fear. So if you are fearful before, that faith is going to keep you going. There can be moments that we all have. You can ask any millionaire, any person that's making money at this time. There were moments it's going to be weak, but what keep you going? Why it make you keep going? Everyone will clap, but what about on those dry moments? Are you going to keep going? Are you going to be faithful of your or your beliefs, or faithful of what you're doing? So that fearful is like that foundation. They keep motivate you, or they keep going even when you think that you cannot go no more. So when progress feels slow, your faith bring you back on purpose. Not with the numbers, not with approvals. It will give you that reason. It will give you that reason back. So showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, that's is part of your faith. You're thinking, or you're faithful that this is going to work. That's because you're working what really matter to you, and you start seeing the results. But let's see, sometimes people, I don't know if I think we saw those videos, or those small that we show there, that we say to people going on the cave, and there God want they put it on the movies, no? You got one stone, or one uh um I don't know how you call it, like let's say a coin, and then you walk away because you got one coin. But that person that was faithful, they say, I can do this, I can do it, and they keep going, and then there was a bunch of coins on their way. So we cannot stop. We have to continue, and that will help you with our faith. So you don't need to feel motivated to move forwards. You don't need to be faithful to be consistent. And I think I will leave it right there, and I hope so that we have give you a little bit of input, or of your faith, and you're fearful, and maybe we have inspired you, to take that step. Maybe it's not for you, but at least you learn, at least you get that information, that motivation, and now you are not faithful, you're not fearful, you are not afraid anymore. At least you know the information. You can say, okay, it's not for me, but you have the information, and that's what matters.
Yes, thank you, Yessie. So yeah, faith sustains you when motivation fades. A lot of times, if you only depend on motivation, a lot of times we don't have that motivation. But when you have faith, and when you believe in yourself more than anything, when faith leads, So success becomes possible. So um, we have more comments here from Eileen. She said, I love your topic on mindset. Thanks for taking time to share. And then she said, our why are our greatest motivators. So thank you, Eileen, again for your
Thank you, thank
comment.
you. I'm
And
glad that the people like this topic. All right, guys, keep it moving. If you have more comments, let us know for sure.
yes, so here's our key takeaway for today. Choosing faith over fear doesn't mean the journey is easy, but it makes it meaningful and possible. Okay. And then what's our topic for next Monday, Jessie?
Yes, so if you like this topic, all right, connect with us next Monday.
Mhm.
So we will be talking about the power of consistency. Why small daily actions will change everything. So if you are intrigued how to do this or even why to do this, connect with us next Monday.
Yes, guys. So we have come to the end of our topics for today. I hope that this is bringing you value, that you have enjoyed the topic for today. And always remember, that um, everything is possible, that we don't have to have the answers of how things are going to work. If you have the faith and you believe that that you're going to give it everything you have to make it possible, things will work out for you, even if you don't really see, even if you don't know, like Jesse said, you may not be tech savvy, maybe you don't have the business background, but when you have the willingness to do something, to learn and to adapt, things will change for you. So that was our topic for today. Thank you for everybody that was watching us, the people that have commented, and for those that have sent us emojis. We have heart emojis from Eileen Takata, and we also thank Pat Keating for his comment. And Eileen said, awesome presentation, ladies. Thank you so much again for your comment. And so, yeah, that was our topic for today. I want to thank you for being here with us, for your support. And really, let's all believe that there's something else for us, that we don't have to to start this opportunity. You don't have to quit your job, you don't have to spend more time away from your family. This is something that you can do on time that you already have in your hands. You don't have to spend additional time away. And I want to remind you about our live webinars that we have every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern, no, 5 p.m. Pacific time,
Mhm.
and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, you're welcome to, either send us a direct message, you can comment info, or you can register on the web pages you see on the screen. So thank you so much. And until the next time of our global
Oh,
digital
digital
success
success.
talk.
Talk.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you
Thank
next
you.
Monday.